Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så det kostar kärlek, konsolabba, konsolfelino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy weekend. Happy Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, or I guess if you're watching from Europe or whatever. Saturday night. We appreciate you guys as always for tuning in to Wanna Bet. I'm Jason. That's Ben. This is Wanna Bet. This is Meatball. I don't know where the rest of the guys are. We are excited as always to share our favorite handicaps for today's action and some of tomorrow's action and maybe even some future action with you guys. It's what we do here 7 days a week, year round. We've been doing this since late May. And we're trying to be as transparent, as upfront, as real as possible, both showing you how and why we devise sort of the strategies we devise, what's working, what's not working, and try to format some discussions that maybe help you guys cash as well. If you're new to the show, format's pretty simple. I stole it from my buddies Tony and Mike at PTI, basically. First, second, third down, three favorite plays we made since yesterday's show. Fourth down could be fourth and short, could be fourth and long. You want to look at something to get you paid quickly in a game. You want to look at something that might take you a little longer to get paid. And then it is soccer and football. Football and soccer and football and football. It's soccer and football season. And we're always trying to find calculated parlays. And that's part of what we do here. We also show our work Beltway, Ben. I didn't have much going live last night. Had one college basketball game. High Point is on 88 points with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in that game. That means they scored 88 points in the first, basically 35 minutes of that game. They took 7 more shots in that basketball game from the floor and foul shots. They made one of those 7 shots, one foul shot. They finished on 89 points. That's pretty much what the last 2 months have been like for me. That's kind of it in a nutshell. They've been scoring 90 on everybody. New Jersey Institute of Technology kept the game closer longer than even I thought they would. You still hate when you're laying 27, 28 points, how that's going to go. But they kept it long enough so that High Point kept shooting. But down the stretch, they're missing layups. They're shooting ridiculous threes. There you go. We lose. They finished on 89 points. They scored 1 point in basically the final 4.5 minutes of that game. And then this morning, Leverkusen has 2 chances to score in the first minute of that match. There's also a clear penalty, play the man, not the ball. 1 minute into that match, barreled from behind inside the 6-yard box. The referee doesn't want to give a penalty to the road team a minute into a match. Augsburg, who've scored 1 goal in the counter all year, come back 2 minutes later, through ball, high line from Leverkusen, own goal. Second Augsburg goal of the year on the counter. Leverkusen dominating the match, losing 2-0. So we will not win Leverkusen to win to 0 on that match. And they probably will skull F our 3-team parlay as well. As Augsburg, who are total shit and just fired their manager, will probably win that match. Beltway, Ben, thank God for you.
Yeah, it was a very good night. We also cashed, what you can't see here, Matherin over his field goal attempts, and we also cashed Kawhi's first quarter points. And that really wasn't a sweat. I mean, he went for 7 or 8 points in 7 minutes. Benedict Matherin was shooting at a ton. He was good scoring, so he cashed just that. Tulane's rushing yards, they were more than halfway at halftime, felt good. They were up a bunch, so I always knew that one was going to cash. Miles Turner, bad read, 2 rebounds, wasn't aggressive on the glass, and he didn't play the majority of the second half because their lineup was moving better without him, but when he was out there, he still wasn't aggressive on the glass. So I don't even think he would have gotten it if he played a regular number of minutes. That was the one loss, but again, we finished up over 2.5 units.
You hear the washing machine?
Yeah, I thought that was the ice cream truck.
The wash is done. That's pretty cute, huh?
That's very cute.
Hey, that washing machine came from Town Appliance, and it's
There you
damn
go.
good. Town Appliance don't sponsor this show, but they do sponsor Inside Access. And Mayor and Mayor, go check them out. Reisterstown Road, Owings Mills, or townappliance.com. There you go. That's a freebie, guys. But you deserve it. And I do like that cute little song that it plays to let you know that it's time to put that in the dryer. And I will do that. That's right next door to me. I will do that when we're done with this here betting show, Beltway Ben. 2 basketball plays for me. I will give them out on first down. Butler has been a covering machine. We've been on Butler several times this year. We've been on the money line against higher profile programs like Virginia, like South Carolina. They damn near beat a very good SMU team. They get Boise State coming to them. Boise State aren't slouches, but I like Butler at home in this spot, laying 5.5. It's juiced in our favor, minus 105. Really, like, you can boil it down to this. Butler, they're a top 50 offense. They're a top 60 defense. They're a top 8 3-point shooting team. Boise State's 3-point defense, 228th in the league per Ken Palm. Butler's 7-1 against the spread. They're covering those games on average by 7 points per game. Their margin of victory this season is 18.4 points per game. They're not going to win this by 18, but we don't need them to. They're a really solid team. They're playing with a lot of confidence. It's a tough place to play. I'm kind of surprised they've got Boise coming to them, but we think they win this by multiple possessions. Go Bulldogs. In the NBA, we have not been fading the Clippers enough. I think I said that 2 weeks ago. Last time I might have had a play against them on this show. They're going to Minnesota. We like Minnesota we're taking this. This is now around 10.5. We're going to take it down just under 10. T-Wolves laying 9.5. T-Wolves to score at least 116 points, plus 120. Clippers are playing back-to-back nights. Clippers went into last night's game 2-11 against the spread in their last 13. They're not good defensively. They're not good offensively. The Wolves have won 4 in a row. They've scored at least 119 in all of those games. The Clippers went into last night's game having won 3 of their last 18. You're looking at a Minnesota team that their last 12 games, they've scored at least 119 points in all those games, and they've averaged 127.5. So, Jason, why are you bringing the team total down? Because my luck is scheisse these days. And also because when Minnesota scores 116 points, they're 13-0. You study the numbers, 116 feels like a magic number to them. Do they take their foot off the gas a little bit? Do they play with their food? Yeah, it's possible. The Clippers have been letting teams get to 116 with great regularity. It's happened in 6 of their last 9 games. We're just a little more comfortable with that number. Sometimes Minnesota, again, late in games, it can get a little sideways for them. So T-Wolves minus 9.5. T-Wolves to score 116 points against the lowly and fading Clippers tonight, plus 120.
We're going to go to a team that's been friendly to us when we've tailed and taken them and played them a bunch of different ways, and it's typically with their rushing yards. So we're going to go with that again. Western Michigan over 199.5 rushing yards at minus 112. As much as I've liked playing them, I kind of went back and forth with this one and didn't know that I was going to, but ultimately I did end up sticking with them as their 1.5-point favorite against Miami of Ohio today. Now, Miami of Ohio has not nearly been as good since Daquan Finn has decided he was going to sit out, and that was a weird situation. He wants to get ready for the NFL draft. If they're playing from behind, Western Michigan will be running the football. And on top of all of it, we have Brock Lowry, who has 80-plus rushing yards in 7 straight games, 90-plus in 3 straight. He is a running quarterback. They're not throwing the football a ton, and I get it. This is an indoor game. The MAC championship is indoors. That'll help the passing game out a little bit, but it will also mean some of those hits won't hurt as bad as that Wednesday night in Ohio when it's 35 degrees and he's getting hit more and more and more and doesn't want to take some of those shots. Same thing for the running backs, and I think the running back might be able, and Buckley might be able to get off a little bit against this defense. Miami of Ohio, the one area they've struggled is against the run. Now, Western Michigan did not clear this the last time these two teams faced off, but they also lost by 2 scores and were trying to catch up. and that meant more throwing the football. I think Lowry is playing from ahead. I think he's running the ball a ton, and this is a championship game. We know how aggressive he already is. In a must-win spot like this, I think we'll see him aggressive on the ground using his legs. So give me the Western Michigan squad over 199.5 rushing yards and -112.
Penalty in first half, injury time at St. James Park in Newcastle. Beltway Ben, already up 1-0. Do you think they let our guy BDN take the penalty?
That'd be huge. Are they going to? Do you know?
I know.
I'm
going to
guess no. No.
You're right. Gordon takes it. He converts, so at least it's 2-0. So we got the 2 goals from Newcastle. We look pretty decent on the money line, although I probably just mooked that. Let's see if they can get the ball to BDN in the second half. Second down for me. Let's stay in footy. We're going to play a Bundesliga match that's going to kick off tomorrow morning before we can get to it on tomorrow's show. So I'm going to give it out here. Hoffenheim at Dortmund. We are going to take Dortmund on the money line. And we are going to take this match. Which one did I give out on here? I've played this. Did I give out the BTTS?
Both teams to score and Dortmund money line.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also on Dortmund to score more than 1 goal. So Dortmund and Hoffenheim both to score. Dortmund to win. Plus 175. Look, Hoffenheim have been really good on the road. It's been wild. They've been one of the best Bundesliga teams in the road. 14 goals scored in 6 road games. I don't think they're scoring multiple goals against the Dortmund side, who's going to outclass them here. But that's a lot of goals. And the BTTS has hit in 5 of Hoffenheim's 6 road matches. Dortmund have only allowed 4 goals in 5 home matches, but the schedule's favored them. They haven't faced a lot of attacking sides. It's been, primarily lower table Bundesliga sides that are coming in there just hoping maybe they can keep it 0-0 as long as they can. That's not Hoffenheim. That's especially not Hoffenheim on the road. Again, 21 goals scored in Hoffenheim's road matches this season. Dortmund, though, are the better side. Dortmund's play has been a little spotty here. I think this is a spot they're looking at where they absolutely positively have to get 3 points. It's also a spot where all the other top table teams in the Bundesliga are going to have played on Saturday, and most of them are going to get results. So I think they get 1 goal at home. I mean, can they win to 0 here? I doubt it. It's Hoffenheim. We need both teams to score. But I do think Dortmund can do the job. I don't think they do the job without keeping a clean sheet, however. So almost 2-1 value there, BTTS and Dortmund to win the match.
I'm going to an NBA play, and I was going to just give out his triple-double, but at plus 195, there's not enough value for me on that. We're going to go with Jalen Johnson over 19.5 rebounds and assists at minus 122. I know that there's still a little bit of value there, but if his triple-double is plus 195 with what he's been doing and the way that he's been able to grab 14 to 15 rebounds per game, Porzingis is supposed to play. That's fine. He likes camping out at the three-point line and letting other guys grab boards. Jalen Johnson also adds a ton in the assist market, and that's been big with no Trae Young. So I think Jalen Johnson against this Wizards team is going to have a field day. I was considering giving out points, rebounds, and assists, but he's gone over it in 5 straight, and it was 44.5. I was going to need a lot of points. I'd rather just sit here and watch and root for these two because then, against the Wizards, we see a lot of guys pick up some assists. The Wizards, hopefully, will go out of their way to stop him, and that'll force some other guys to beat them. If that's the case, we've seen him have success assisting, dishing things out, and he'll still get his. He's a good scorer, but I do think the rebounds and assist market might be a little bit smarter to play with him tonight. So I like him over 19.5 rebounds and assists at minus 122 against the Wizards. We always tell you we're going to attack the Wizards when we can.
Yes.
Now, the other play, Michigan State on the money line at plus 104 at home against Duke. Listen, I get it. Duke is playing really good basketball. They have the Wooden Award winner probably right now in Boozer. Cam Boozer. Caden hasn't played great against elite competition, but he's been really good. I get all that. I think this is going to be a little physical for him, and that environment in East Lansing might be the difference. Michigan State might have their best team under Tom Izzo in a long time. They're physical. They're playing well. We've seen the step taken forward from Fears. A lot of good guys. They have some good freshmen. Ward, who was the Maryland State Player of the Year 2 years in a row. Like, that Michigan State team is solid. They bring a lot off the bench. They're older, which is so important in this time, especially right now in December in college basketball season. Now, Duke's very tough, and Isaiah Evans can fill it up, great scorer. Their guard play has not been as good as they've wanted, and Foster continues to come back and really has yet to take that step that they've wanted him to. I think they're in a little bit of trouble today, and you're going to give me plus money for Sparty at home. I get it. It's against Duke. It's a top 5 team. Duke's due for a loss Michigan State hasn't lost either. Duke's due for a loss, though, and I think the way that they've played, like last game, they should have lost to Florida. I don't know. I think Duke falls today to Michigan State plus 104.
We're coming along with you on that one, buddy. Me and the Meat Man are riding with you. I've been super impressed by Sparty. I think they're a little bit more multifaceted than they've been in some other years. I feel like the offense comes a little easier for them earlier in the season than it has in other years. They can beat you high scoring. They can beat you low scoring. And they're going to be tough out today. For plus money, I like it. I think they're the better team, Beltway Bend, and they're in the better locale. There wasn't much I loved in the college football markets last night. I did have a little play on Kennesaw State. I didn't give it out here. And if I give it out here, it probably would have missed. But I did like them on the money line. The one thing that stands out to me today is I like the under in the Indiana-Ohio State Big Ten title game, and we're going to bump that up a field goal to 51.5. I also like the under in the Eagles-Chargers game, and we're going to bump that up by a field goal to 44.5. So Indiana-Ohio State under 51.5. Eagles-Chargers Monday night under 44.5 plus 149. Look, I think that the dominant unit in that title game tonight is OSU's defense. I think they'll be able to contain Indiana. I don't know about suffocate them, but contain them. I don't think Ohio State's going to play this game to try to win a shootout. And when you look at Indiana, as great as they are, as good as the quarterback is, when the totals have been around 50, they've tended to go over. Now, when the totals have been 54 and above, they've tended to sail over. But I think Ryan Day knows what he's doing here, and I think he knows how he has to play this game. And I think he will be bleeding that clock and trying to take possessions away from Indiana. His defense will cause a turnover or two. I think there'll be some field goals involved in this game. I think it goes under the 48. I've played it under the 48, but for this parlay, we're taking it up to 51.5. And then the Eagles-Chargers. The Eagles are under 4 straight games, Beltway Ben, and their offense is broken. Those games have gone under by 4.5, 3.5, 20.5, and 29 points. The Eagles in the month of November averaged 15.5 points per game. The Chargers have held opponents to 14 points or less in 3 straight home games. The Chargers under Harbaugh, for the most part, have been an under team, and especially with no Joe Alt and no Rashawn Slater, and Herbert having another surgery in the middle of the week, and Greg Roman really wanting to run the ball, and an offensive line that's probably better pushing forward than stepping back in pass protection. And yes, the Eagles are going to be dealing with some injuries, but it's still a pretty good defensive front. And they can't have Herbert getting hit as much as he's been hit, so run the damn ball. That's where I am on that one. So that parlay, plus 149.
I'm going to the college football. We're going to play 2 different ways. 2 different games today. I like both props. You know how I am with my props. So we'll start here in the SEC championship. We're going to go with Alabama over 261.5 receiving yards, minus 114. Ty Simpson, I've talked about him a lot this year. I am super high on Simpson. I think he's the best quarterback in college football right now, to be completely honest. I like what he can do with his legs. I like his arm. He's a tough quarterback. I think he's going to have some success throwing the football against Georgia. Now, I do lean Georgia to win this game, but some of that plays into this. If they're trailing in the second half, a lot more passes. And since Jam Miller has come back, Bama's been good on the ground. They've been better on the ground. But Ty Simpson's going to have to throw the football here because Georgia's run defense is top 10 in the country. Their passing defense has struggled a little bit. And the last time these 2 teams faced off, Ty Simpson cleared this number. 261, relatively high for a college number. But again, you could get a trick play. DeBoer and that offense could draw one up and they'll figure it out. And there's a lot of different ways that you can win this. And it's hard to lose yards. It's not like the sacks for rushing yards where they really hurt you. So I do think it'll be a heavy dose of Ty Simpson throwing the football. I think they're going to be down for the majority of the second half, and he will be throwing to keep up with Georgia in this one. So 261.5, a number that he's already cleared against that team. and he's cleared in more than half of the football games this year. The majority of those were early. Like the past 2 weeks, he struggled a little bit. I get all that, but one of them was against Eastern Illinois. I don't know that was struggles. It was more just him getting benched in the second quarter because they were up so many and they didn't need him much.
Yeah.
And then, against Auburn, it was ugly. Auburn's defense suffocated him. I get all that, but their pass defense is a little bit better than what Georgia's is. But Georgia's run defense is better as well. So I do like Alabama to go over 261.5 receiving yards and -114. The other play, we're going to attack the Duke passing defense as we have multiple times this year. Virginia over 259.5 receiving yards and -114. Let's look at what Duke has done defensively over the last 5 games. Wake Forest, Robbie Ashford threw for 342. UNC 204 for Gio Lopez. Their passing offense was non-existent all year.
Right.
The last time UVA faced off with Duke, we saw Chandler Morris throw for 317. Joe Fignano, 311 for UConn. Cade Klubnik, 385 for Clemson. Against this Duke passing defense, you have to just take advantage, and we saw it. Chandler Morris has not thrown for a ton of passing yards all year. That's why this is a big number, and it's a little risky there. But the last time they faced off, we saw him clear 300. He's over this in about 3 or 4 games this season. Virginia, it's going to be a tough day. Like, I wish that this was indoor like the majority of the other ones, the other conference championships, because that helps. It's in Charlotte. It's going to be like 38 to 40 degrees. It'll be a little cold. But with that, Duke's passing defense still sucks. It doesn't travel well. And I know they'll have a fine set of fans there, but so will Virginia. So I think Virginia's passing offense dominates Duke, as all these passing offenses have. We're going to take them over 259.5 receiving yards and -114.
Love it. Fourth down for me. We're going to go 4th and long because we're going to have to wait not a long time to see if this hits or not. Only a few weeks, but longer than tonight. Colts to miss the playoffs plus 240. Look, I think they're losing this game to Jacksonville. If they lose this game to Jacksonville, these numbers are going to flip exponentially. So it's in part a value play in that regard. Just, judging where the numbers are now and where I think that, where anybody logically thinks they're going to go, depending on this outcome. They haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. They look a little beaten to me right now. I think the Steelers game really got in their head. And they haven't quite been this. They certainly haven't been the same offense since then. I think Jonathan Taylor rushing 32 times in that Atlanta game has taken some of the steam out of him. And teams are selling out to take him away, as they should. Daniel Jones is hurt. Are they going to be able to funnel everything to Pittman? I don't know, but the deep stuff to Pierce ain't there like it used to be. And that's a dome team going outside in a place they haven't won in 10 years against a Jags team that creates a lot of takeaways. Don't rub it in, Ben. Why you got to rub it in? That's gratuitous.
I literally have my mouse on one to put it across in my elbow head. And
I'm just playing with you.
Jesus.
That's a gratuitous.
My bad.
Dude, if you just saw how Leverkusen somehow didn't score a goal, it would blow your mind. The ball literally goes across the goal line. Leverkusen has a striker there who could just backheel it into the net, and he hits it off the post. Like, I effing give up. But thank you for the gratuitous nut shot.
I did not. I literally have my head turned, and I hear you.
playing.
Thank you, and I like. Oh no, Jesus Christ! What am I
It's
doing?
good. It's all good.
Let me take the mouse off
It's
of
all
that.
good. We're a 2-man operation. The mouse is
Absolutely.
always right. Yeah, look, I don't think they're winning this division. I think they're the 3rd best team in the division. No Sauce Gardner now, too. They put all their eggs in that basket. I don't think he's that great anyway, but I don't have a good feeling about this team, and they've got a very tough schedule down the stretch. And to me, if the offense has gone from 29 points a game to 21, and that was their superpower, and Daniel Jones was their gravitational force, I think they're in trouble. So, again, they lose that game to Jacksonville, this market's going to flip entirely.
Ours will be 4th and short. We've parlayed a few things to get us here. Virginia first half money line, and it's the 3-way. This is college basketball. The 3-way money line. So you don't get help with a tie. You don't get the push. We are taking them to win the first half, and anything else, we get a loss. Michigan State, first half plus 8.5. It's an alternate number. And then we're going to go to college football for the last one. Texas Tech, 150 plus first half total yards. You combine all these and they get you to plus 104. I think Virginia has their way against Dayton today. I wrote about it in the Hoops HQ article. I think that's a high scoring game, and I think Virginia dominates. This is not your old Virginia. Their offense is tough. They don't need to win games 58 to 56. They can run it up into the 90s and beat you that way. So I do like what Odom is doing at Virginia, and I think they're going to be back to that blue blood, to that top 10 team in the country every year under him. Big fan of his. He was good at UMBC, took down Virginia in that run. So Ryan Odom, great coach. I like Virginia today against Dayton. Michigan State, we already talked about them. I like them to win. I don't see them being down double digits in the first half. Now, on FanDuel, the best I could bring it down to is 8.5. I'm fine with that. I wanted to get it at 10.5 just so we have that little bit of a handicap. But like at home, they should not be coming out sloppy, ugly. I think it's going to be the other way where Duke might come out and it's going to hit them. This is their first true road game. Playing at West Point against Army is nothing compared to Michigan State. The Army game is Duke's only true road game. The other, they've had some tough tests, but those are neutral site games. Playing at the Bulls Arena, playing at MSG, that's completely different from playing straight up in East Lansing with one of the best student sections in the country and one of the best crowds in the country. I think Michigan State comes out ready to go. And then Texas Tech, 150 first half total yards. BYU's defense is good, but it's not that good. Texas Tech's offense is one of the more high prolific ones that we've seen in that conference. They're 12.5-point favorites. I would expect it to start early and often. They can throw the football. They can run it. I think they're going to have success against BYU. And this is a number that they've cleared in almost every single game this year. I don't see anything changing in the conference championship. So again, for the listeners, Virginia first half money line 3-way in college basketball. Michigan State first half plus 8.5 in college basketball. And Texas Tech 150 plus first half total yards in college football plus 104.
Part of the reason I like the Butler Bulldogs so much today, that UVA win. I like when you cut across multiple sports there, about like that. Overtime for me, just going to continue riding a horse we've been riding. That is Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, at least 34 passing attempts. Jacoby Brissett, at least 250 yards passing. And Jacoby Brissett, 2 passing touchdowns. The part that I, don't love about this is the 2 passing touchdowns, but that's how we get to plus 218. Look, he's number 1 in passing yards since week 6 when he took over for little Kyler Murray and stole his job. He's thrown for 250. He's thrown for 258, actually. Every game, he's been routinely going over 300. I think there's going to be garbage time here because I think the Rams are out for blood after playing with their food last week and giving a game away. Look, I mean, Carolina took it, but there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds there. I think you're going to get the best of Matt Stafford here, and I think Brissett, and I know the injury report. That's part of the reason I don't love the 2 touchdowns is Harrison's hurt. Running backs are hurt. Everybody's hurt, but I still think he's going to be chucking the ball around. He always chucks the ball around. He's going over 40 attempts most weeks. He's over 36 attempts in 6 of his last 7. We're going to go to 34 here in case he gets a bunch of explosives, which the Rams have been giving up lately. And maybe it's not quite the 40 attempts here, and they keep it relatively close with 34 attempts, 35 attempts. The Rams have allowed 248 passing yards or more in 5 of their last 9 games. That defense has slipped a little bit. They've been allowing passing touchdowns lately. And look, Brissett has 2 or more passing touchdowns in 6 of his 7 starts. I do think there's garbage time here, and I think Brissett keeps padding his stats because, what else does Arizona have to play for? I think McBride will be a problem here. Wilson will be a problem. He'll throw the ball to anybody. I kind of feel like he's the guy who unlocked Harrison. I don't know that Harrison, is the guy who's really, saving Jacoby Brissett's career. I kind of think it's the other way around. So I think it's a wild game. We'll be on this game a little bit more tomorrow. But plus 218, Brissett, 250 passing yards, 34 passes or more, and 2 passing touchdowns or more.
We're going to go with just a simple college football play. I told you guys how I felt about Georgia, and it hasn't updated.
Georgia.
I like Texas Tech minus 5.5. I like Georgia on the money line, and I like Virginia 200 plus receiving yards plus 2.8. All of these are in the conference championship. Texas Tech, we bring their spread down. They're about 11.5 to 12.5 point favorites over BYU. Listen, the BYU story is fun. They played good football all year. Sataki's a great coach. They have the fun story of him maybe going to Penn State and deciding to stay at BYU. That's cool, but Texas Tech is a better team. They're better offensively and defensively. Texas Tech, as good as they are on offense, they're even better defensively, one of the best teams in the country defensively. They have a lot of money down there for NIL, and they put it to good use. So I like Texas Tech to cover the 5.5. Georgia on the money line. This is the play that gets us a very good price on this parlay here. Georgia, Alabama is basically a pick 'em. Depending where you look, it's about minus 110 to minus 118 in a lot of different spots. I like Georgia to get it right today. Kirby struggled against Alabama, but a lot of those struggles were against Nick Saban. Now, last year they lost to DeBoer. This year they've lost to DeBoer. I get all that. But this isn't it. I don't think this is the spot where they fall after they already lost once this year. DeBoer, as good as that team has been all season, they have not played that well down the stretch. Georgia's run defense should be able to take them away. I think they're going to be playing from ahead. I trust Gunnar Stockton as much as I like Simpson. I do trust Gunnar Stockton to get a win today. And then Virginia, 200 plus receiving yards, plus 208. Talked about it before. I'd like them for 258.5. And you're also telling me I can take it down to 200 and get somewhat of a fair price. It's a throw-in to get us to clear that 200 number. So we'll take that. And then we don't have the graphic, but I also was looking at it. Tyler Warren over 53.5 receiving yards against Jacksonville. I think the number is going to be a little bit different tomorrow. Jacksonville's really struggled against tight ends this season. So I would advise getting that in now. It's an official play on Saturday, 53.5, because again, Sunday morning at 11, when we give this out, it will not be that low, I don't think, just with the way they've struggled and how dominant he's been. I think it's going to be a big game for that kid. So I like Tyler Warren over 53.5 receiving yards tomorrow. And then for this parlay here, Texas Tech minus 5.5, Georgia money line, and Virginia 200 plus receiving yards plus 208.
Excellent. That's our show, people. We always appreciate everybody tuning in. You guys have any feedback, comments, suggestions, hit us up. Want to bet with us at gmail.com. We will be back tomorrow at 11 when I get off the radio to give you our NFL Sunday picks. I might have a few things outside of just the NFL. We've got Champions League coming up again around the corner. Excited about that. And yeah, we're getting close to conference basketball season in the NCAAs. We do in the Big Ten have conference games going on. So yeah, it's a fun time of the year. For sure. Beltway Ben, punch me in the nuts one more time, my friend. As Britney Spears once said, hit me, baby, one more time. And the cojones, there you go. I'm shit in the bed. That's no way to sugarcoat it. Ride with Beltway Ben. And I'm hoping things turn around for me here. My wallet's definitely hoping things turn around for me here. We will continue to put the work in, breaking these games down 7 days a week, morning, noon, and night. No exaggeration. Trying to give you guys the best ways to play them. We appreciate you tuning in. You want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for wanting to bet with us.